Cross Cup. In the bottom left side, it is going to be our Blue Brawlers player from Storm Gaming. This is MaxPax. And in the top right side, our Red Brawlers player gonna be herO. So, first game setting up and just gonna be getting this underway, seeing what sort of direction. Gonna be getting all set, getting all ready. And seeing where things are going to happen. Now, Stargate on both sides of the map is always pretty fun for a bit of PvP, and especially these two, especially because it's MaxPax. MaxPax is very, very good at Phoenix play, and to me, he really revolutionized Phoenix play a little bit, because he really brought like a very aggressive form of Phoenix to play in Phoenix versus Phoenix, right? And that's something which I never really thought was something that you could do. But he did it in such a cool way. I'm just going to be seeing a couple of adepts come up. Other adept getting turned back around. Just for the moment. As our adepts just again continue to chase the other adept here. Going to shade around. Just going to be seeing the adept shade. We pick off an adept. Job well done. Just going to be seeing our Oracle coming up on both sides of the map. So both of these getting up and running. Oracle still chrono boosting along. I'm just going to be having ourselves the batteries coming up as well, getting those online. Just going to see how Void Ray is still chrono boosting here. These early few moments. Okay, everything for a couple of workers. The Oracle and herO coming in, and obviously it was Oracle on both sides. Now herO is going to commit into Phoenix, which now gets me kind of excited as to whether we're going to be really seeing Phoenix on Phoenix, because MaxPax ended up building a Void Ray as well, so this is quite a cool combination of things. Eight probes going down though. MaxPax definitely not having a good go of it, to say the very least. It's definitely been a painful opening. There's 8 workers really is pretty hefty amount. I'm just going to be seeing, well, 11 probes dead. It's still going up, right? And he's not really, well, put it this way. He's ahead because he was on a faster expansion. So we are in a little bit of an okay position still as MaxPax. It's actually equal workers at this point in time, despite everything that's kind of gone on. Kind of fascinating, isn't it, to still be so close. His Oracle goes down, and now this Oracle of herO is getting chased away. Shame for MaxPax to lose his Oracle, because then it obviously feels a little bit as though you're losing out on your opportunity, I guess. But because it feels like that was one way for MaxPax to do still even further damage. But like, I guess he doesn't need to do much. He's actually ahead on workers, so MaxPax is in a reasonable spot, all said and done, just because of the speed of the expand and everything. So that's kind of impressive. Just going to be seeing our Phoenix still going up against each other, as herO doesn't have the Phoenix advantage here either, so MaxPax is going to win out on that one. Man, MaxPax having a a really wild time. What a surprising way for things to go so far in this game. What's up, Juvia? How you doing? Thank you so much for the 33-month resub. Hope you're doing well. And thanks as always for supporting. Good to see you. Really quite the little game this turned out to be, as the Oracle comes back in, so herO's going to have a chance to even out the worker numbers again, so that's the good news. As the Oracle will go down, a few probes get back to mining. MaxPax is once more going to be down in the numbers game. So herO now going to be retaking a bit of a lead. It really is just a bit of a back and forth affair so far, isn't it? Really, really is. Well, the dev's gonna come shading by. If there's much impact that they could have here. It's just gonna be seeing the Twilight Council still coming up on the other side. Phoenix still joining up, so he's still got these in play and looking to try and help make something of a difference. Dark Shrine from MaxPax will be his way of trying to now kind of bring some fight back into this, I feel like. He is kind of the player who needs to do something again because he's just trailing a little bit. As this lead kind of ping-pongs between the two of them. It's going to be seeing Robo Facility going up with that Dark Shrine to potentially create that little bit of, let's say, damage that needs to be done here. He's gathering up, and just defense from MaxPax. herO goes blinking in, so having the blink already is obviously a big benefit, so that's going to be one thing we can be pretty happy about here straight away. That's a okay-ish defense, right? Doesn't go too badly. Could have been a whole lot worse. See a couple more probes going down. These Sorgers just having the blink is going to give them so much mobility, and MaxPax on his way to the Robo Facility, and the Immortal is going to help him a lot too. He gets a DT going. Detection not ready yet, so we're still kind of waiting on that just a little bit here. As the Sorgers go blinking in and try and fight. There's too many Stalkers, man. hero's just got a little bit too much of a lead. Cool game. Could really see kind of a world where maybe this would have been perhaps interesting enough and perhaps even close enough to be MaxPax's game. He's still got the DTs, so he's still got a little bit of an opportunity for a handful of moments, but this shouldn't really last too much longer. This should be something that can just get cleaned up as our Stalkers keep on coming around. And they just do too much on this side. As long as we've got detection, I don't think there's really a way for you to get enough done here. I think unfortunately that will become a problem. Well, you can kind of see these Stalkers just continue running circles, even without the detection to immediately get rid of the DTs. They're already putting themselves in pretty good position against the DTs, so doing well enough for now. DTs have done a lot, and again, more probes do go down here. It's not been an easy affair for herO in the slightest, but in the end, it will be enough. And herO will get the W to open this series with a 1-0 lead. So herO getting off to a strong start as we get this underway. Is going to be on the top left side our Blue Pros player MaxPax. On the bottom right is going to be our Red Pros player herO. Alright then, so map number 2. Get this underway. Probe heads up and along on the top side of the map, getting that started off to begin with. Probe, chasing probe. Just going to be seeing the gateway coming in on either side, so again, getting this all up and running here. Well, obviously with the ramp on the natural, we're seeing these low ground gateways as well, so the possibility of expanding is 100% in play. So that's obviously something that's nice to keep track of as we make our way through. We'll continue to chase and nibble at the other probe for just a little bit. The Nexus will be going down here. That's going to be getting played on both sides, so bringing this up, getting this rolling, just going to be seeing our Nexus coming through. Adept and Zealot will build. And once again, going to see Stargate on Stargate. I honestly am kind of fascinated to see how Stargate versus Stargate continues between these two. I'd love to see a more straight up just Phoenix versus Phoenix game. I really feel like it would be really cool. Like, these two are just so good in that kind of aggressive scenario. I really feel like it could be very fun. Hoping we get it. Stargate's coming on both sides right now. Just going to be seeing our Adept comes in, picks off a probe. Obviously, all these probes are going to come running after this Adept. It's going to get in the corner, so MaxPax going to be the first to deal some good damage. And when you're playing Stargate versus Stargate and Phoenix on Phoenix, where every little thing is going to be pretty darn important, you got to be really worried about moments like this where, you know, you lose 6 workers early as herO, because that could just give MaxPax enough of a lead, enough of an advantage to run away with this. So that could definitely be a something of an immediate problem, absolutely. Well, extra Stargate goes down. We're going to double down on the reduction here as we have a couple of Phoenix moving around, getting set up. How many Phoenix do we on both sides? 3 against 3, MaxPax. Like I say, it's a bit of a worker lead. That one Adept really caused absolute, complete, and utter chaos here. Got so much damage done. Stargate of herO will be finishing shortly. Pro comes in, wants to go and put down a pylon. As the Adept will come shading out. A couple Phoenix coming up on either side. Just going to be getting that one up and running. The problem with Phoenix versus Phoenix is obviously you're not really ever encouraged to be the aggressor because the defender's almost always going to have an advantage. And oh, interesting one though, because MaxPax kind of gets the jump on this. Is that good enough for him? I think so. He's going to have more Phoenix here as he gets a reinforcement. It's actually kind of very close. Very back and forth, and the Phoenix continue against other Phoenix. Huh. That's a really weird fight. 2 against 4. herO came out on top. It really felt like he was behind initially, though. Well, it's going to be seeing the continuing through for a few more probes. herO straight up has a set of batteries over here as well, by the way, so can obviously use those to his advantage as well over the next little while and potentially get a whole bunch more damage done. So something else to be watching out for as the Phoenix hang out over here, and just going to be seeing another battery going down. Phoenix taking on Phoenix, just a couple of moments back and forth. herO just happy to sit here. Now, he's down a bunch of workers, though, so he's trying to be very aggressive with these Phoenix, and not that he's not succeeding, just that it's not really doing much right now. Like, it's not bad, but it's not like it's like, oh yeah, like, let's go. And it's interesting because MaxPax can't break out to a third, but he's already got the third building. The thing is, herO only has air units with Phoenix. herO can't actually stop the fact that MaxPax is currently... Yeah, he actually can't stop the fact that MaxPax currently has a worker lead and a base lead. Like, he can't kill the base unless he cannon rushes the base, I suppose, would be an option for him here. That's pretty much one of the only options he's going to get, though. Interesting little situation we've got. Phoenix, looking at the other few Phoenix, we are going to start diving in. Phoenix on both sides start to go down. Just going to be having our backup continuing and looking for engage in. Does herO really have the numbers to do this? He does. 8 against 5, so fine, but now a super battery goes up to try and protect, trying to make the difference. Just going to see that Annual Pulse Crystal is the Phoenix range coming up here on the side of MaxPax, so we'll have that in his favor as Phoenix come through and a couple of probes is going to get lifted. herO, again, just less workers, but I guess MaxPax as well is at a point where he can't even really use all of his workers anyways, so the advantage isn't really very significant. What's the income at? MaxPax has been mining a lot more, it's just he's been losing a lot more as well. He's lost 18 Phoenix to the 14. He's just not been as good in these fights, unfortunately, as Phoenix come through, getting rid of a lot of the probes. So a lot of the advantage that MaxPax has, that wasn't even really doing much for him, is now being taken away from him, stripped away. Back in here, just continues to bully him here. 8:30 in on Dragon Scales, couple of Phoenix on both sides of the map. Next is producing Pylon on the way as well from herO, making sure he's not going to end up supply blocked or anything of the sorts as we continue through. He's looking to have a little blip at some of the other Phoenix still and trying to be brave in instead of a potentially pretty nasty fight. Well, Phoenix keep on taking on some of the Phoenix. Got a Stargate coming up. It's going to be seeing the Phoenix jumping in. It's going to be seeing the Phoenix continue to go down. The Phoenix range still in play, and just going to be seeing ourselves and gathered back up atop of these batteries. I mean, again, it's so weird that MaxPax can actually just mine off to the right side because, I mean, obviously the Phoenix can lift the probes there, but that's pretty much all they can do. Going to dive on the Phoenix yet again. MaxPax is going to have his Phoenix count reset once more. At what point does herO actually... I mean, if herO just transitions to a ground army, he's got a massive control in the Phoenix game. He doesn't even have to go, like, hard onto the ground army, but just a little investment to a ground force. And herO could be in an amazing spot, because then there's no way for MaxPax to stay strong and stand up in this game anymore, right? I'm going to take these bases, this base over here. Is this Rich Vespine, guys'? Yes. No? No. Huh. I wonder why he takes that base. Is there something special about this base that I'm forgetting about, guys? Because I wonder why he takes that one. I guess because it's just because he's pylon blocked, right? It's actually, there's nothing special. That's how wonky it is, but he's just pylon blocked and he still doesn't have a way to kill off the pylons, so he can't expand anywhere else, so... There's actually a pretty good reason, as MaxPax is building 4 Phoenix at a time over the 2 that herO can build, and that's why he keeps getting back in this. He's had more economy, and he's had more production, and he's making use of it. Trying to get rid of the assimilator. MaxPax is based on the left side, taking some hits as he has cannons to help him out with this trade. Super Battery popping to protect the Phoenix. Yeah, it's just funny because it's not even that this expansion is like intended to be aggressive or anything. It's just he has no other choice. a little awkward, but such is life sometimes. Yeah, I mean that's just unlucky, I guess. Easy way to say it. Well, Stargate finishing over there, and just going to be seeing the rest of our Phoenix continuing to move on around. Actually, I see herO not quite on the front doorstep of MaxPax for a few moments, believe it or not, so... A little bit of calm. MaxPax again is just taking on the role of taking damage, rebuilding, and just kind of, consistently going back around for that again and again here. Seems to just be settling for the fact that this is kind of how this game is playing out, and that's pretty much all he can do. And at this point, I mean, you are kind of limited by what your opponent does as well, right? Like, there's only so much you can have control over in a game like this. Sometimes you've just got to kind of say, okay, well, let's just take what we can and try and maybe find a way to make this work out, and just hope maybe my opponent makes mistakes. Hope I can make this game weird, wild, random enough that it perhaps works out. And that's what we're doing right now. It's something of a hoping game from MaxPax. You're hoping your opponent is going to make mistakes enough to let you back in. It seems crazy to think that herO would do such a thing, but it's plausible, right? It happens. And these are the kind of things that happen a lot more frequently than players would like to admit. Phoenix gonna hit Phoenix. A little bit of a beat up for a moment or two. I'm just gonna be seeing again this battery and cannon farm over here, just in front of MaxPax's base. Meanwhile, herO expands over here because again he only just now has been able to take down these other pylons and take a fight. MaxPax making his way to carriers. I kind of like it because I feel like you're not going to win this game if you just sit on Phoenix, because you're always going to get out macroed. So at least now you're maybe making some amount of cool progress, right? I like it more than I liked it before, at the very least, I guess. At least now there seems like something of a target or something of a plan or something that can actually be done in this. Before it was feeling pretty hopeless, I would say, right? It definitely felt like we were in a bit of a tough spot, hard to do anything. Like I say, now at least that feels like there's something of a chance, something of an opportunity. Go battling against some other Phoenix, a little bit of back and forth. Starting out there, just going to be seeing that Phoenix dive in again, activating on the carrier. If they could pick that off, that would obviously be pretty incredible, but obviously that's not easily done. Continue to hold out hope, continue to hold out position. It's going to be seeing our Phoenix would love to, again, just get a chance to move in and maybe make something of a play, maybe make something happen here. herO just going to sit and continue to bully MaxPax until he gets out of the game. Honestly, I mean, what else is there for him to really do? Not a lot. In all fairness. Not really a lot at all right now. And we see now 4 bases of herO. I mean, MaxPax got to the 4th base upper right. herO's now going to decide, hey, I want some of these carriers as well. They seem pretty fun. So he's going to start moving into that. Areas are coming up on both sides for the moment. Just going to be having the army supply lacking massively here for MaxPax, so definitely in a troubling position. Zealot will go tapping against a pylon, clear that out as well. Give us a little bit more breathing room once again. All of these Phoenix stacked up over here, man. It's kind of crazy, no? Maxed out, herO, just, again, he's kind of waiting on carries, etc., so he could realistically take a fight to end this game. That's the position we're in, that you're not really able to end this, and like I say, that's the weird thing about Stargate versus Stargate, Phoenix versus Phoenix. You end up going to the carriers and everything. This sort of stuff happens all of the time. This is the kind of thing that can just happen on repeat pretty much, as our cannons some work in initially and get some damage done. Phoenix will fight other Phoenix for a few moments. Six carriers to fall in MaxPax's favor. Obviously, herO is maxed in a way. He might need to trade out a couple of Phoenix to get more carriers. Phoenix can still be okay against carriers. Obviously, they're going to shoot interceptors a lot, but if you can get on top of the carriers, they will still die pretty swiftly as well a lot of the time. More quickly than you'd expect them to. At least in my experience, I always feel like I'm like, oh, well, the carrier should be fine here. It's like, what? It just disappeared. So, yeah, something to look at. Carrier's getting going, picking away at a pylon. It's going to see another pylon coming up to the sides. I'm just going to be seeing all of our Phoenix making their way over to the left. You guys, okay, here's a question. Do you guys really think that... I feel like herO had enough of a lead personally to make his way into a ground army. I get it, usually in PvP, you do not want to be taken away from Phoenix and stuff in Phoenix vs. Phoenix, but I feel like he had enough control and enough of a lead to give up the Phoenix game and build a ground army and to just run the game out of MaxPax's control from there. Because the only reason MaxPax is in this game is because the air armies struggle to fight each other. I really feel like herO had enough control to just switch straight up into a ground force that MaxPax wouldn't have done anything about, because he would have been stuck on Phoenix, a handful of Archons, and there would have been zero defense from MaxPax. You know, I'm talking about before MaxPax really had the money to get like a bunch of cannons going or anything, right? So I really feel like that was something we've missed out on as herO, like a much simpler ending to this game. Why doesn't he make one Tempest to force a fight? That's true. I mean, you could do. I feel like he's maybe a bit afraid of just using up too much supply. Unlike a Tempest, where maybe he's actually genuinely worried about how this next kind of battle is going to go, right? That's actually pretty reasonable idea, I think. Be the craziest things. Frozen sacrificed by herO, obviously just giving up economy because he's got enough of a bank, and well, to be fair, he has, you know, he actually has a lot more workers than MaxPax. He needs to give up a lot to have a comparable army, otherwise he could be in some trouble. MaxPax already +3 air weapons, but it doesn't feel like we're a long way from matching that on the other side, so that's probably not too much of a problem. There he is, and I think he's taking a few more hits here. Just going to be seeing our Zealots going in to the bottom corner as well, and just going to be hitting a little bit. So MaxPax going to be losing out on this hidden base over here. Obviously, we've just been hiding bases everywhere because it's been one of those games where you have just had the chance to hide bases everywhere because of the nature of Stargate units in PvP, interestingly enough. Fight actually breaks out. MaxPax trying to reclaim control of this area, which obviously herO has been in control of pretty much the entire game. Scepters fly forth. I'm just going to be seeing the Phoenix trying to fight back against them. Trying to get something back. Just a few moments. These carriers joining together. It's nice that MaxPax gets to move forward, but his army supply is just that much larger. herO really has too many workers. The rebuild potential is there, but rebuilding isn't going to do enough for you when you don't have enough army supply to ever take a good fight. What's the point of being able to rebuild into somebody that's just going to outmass and insta-kill everything you own again? There isn't any. Spoiler alert. I think that's the issue. Hero's just not realizing just quite how big MaxPax's army is. 161 army supply. It's going to be a single A-click across the map at some point here from MaxPax, I think. Plain and simple. Single A-click, get across and make a go of it. Depowered structures at the front. Is that what that lightning symbol is? That it's depowered? Don't really like that. I don't think that's necessary. I feel like stuff's kind of obvious when it's depowered. Maybe it's nice. It feels very spammy. I don't know. I just don't think that it looks good. I just don't think it's necessary. It's usually very obvious when stuff's depowered already. As we do see the mothership going down here again, MaxPax taking the start of this fight that we've been talking about, the fight that can maybe make the difference with all of a 60 army supply lead, which is really ridiculous to think about when we consider just what kind of game this has been. Archon's wolfing in here from herO though, and that's something which, again, I don't know if we actually have a way to fight right now as MaxPax. I don't think we really have a way to deal with that at all at the moment. And Seb's continuing to go to town. 25 probes of herO going down. I like this for herO because now you can get more army supply though. I mean, I get it. You kind of have to kill the workers, but this is going to be mass carriers against something of a ground force though. herO doesn't feel like he's had time to build into even more carriers of his own, so that is going to be a standing difference here in this game. Except to make their way into the base. The Phoenix, the Archons, the Storks coming through. A few of these probes begin to go down. It's going to get the Phoenix to lift up a couple more probes already. Intercept is going to town in this main. Stalker's just getting picked off at the front as well. And MaxPax 170 to 185 supply. Again, it's so much been about army supplies and what each side has had available to them. So we've seen that Phoenix come through, and well, Stalker's going on a bit of a hunt as well, see if they can perhaps find excuse me, some value here as well. So a lot going on. Why not make Tempest? I feel like herO could make Tempest, right? I mean, he's basically playing against pure carriers. I think Tempest would be a good call. You get like 6 Tempest up, you start one-shot carriers and stuff. Like, there's nothing that can be done in return. And you're in a pretty tricky position. I'll put you in a tough place for sure. Stalker's gonna get hit by a Revelation. And as we continue through, just going to be seeing a few DTs. Looking to try and make a bit of a play. Oracle drops another Revelation in, so just keeping track of things for the moment. Trying to keep our heads on and make sure we know what's up. Carrier's kind of staring everybody down and threatening to perhaps make a bit of a play. It's a lot of carriers, don't get me wrong, right? I mean, it's a lot of army that we've got coming in here on both sides. Really, just going to see how Phoenix are. Gonna try and stand up a little bit, so MaxPax got disruptors as well, help with the ground force. It's gonna be an interesting next few moments, these next couple of fights and everything taking place here, I imagine, as Archons and Stalkers get to the upper right, gonna make a decent go of kind of chewing through this already. Some Phoenix come out standing at the front here as well. 12 more probes go down. MaxPax only has 21 workers left. I mean, in my eyes, MaxPax was never looking to try and rebuild or anything, although I guess he's got to have some amount of money so he can rebuild the interceptors. Otherwise, his army just becomes completely nullified at a moment's notice, which obviously would not be ideal. So you do have some reasonable cause for concern in that regard. These carriers setting up, making a bit of a move forward, getting in position. We are going to be seeing our Stalkers and Archons still over here, though, and again, it's just trying to deal with both sides of this attack. MaxPax cannot seemingly get this under good enough control just yet. And hence is currently struggling as our interceptors continue forward, getting on top of a bunch of these Stalkers. Just going in, a few interceptors being picked away at, just going to be having the carriers producing big time from herO. 5 new ones on the way up, so just reinvesting into more of what he's had before. I mean, to be fair, he just wants to get his own carrier number up. This is just still the question mark of, are the carriers going to be strong enough for MaxPax to overwhelm everything else? Because the one thing he has in his favor is simply just going to be a carrier count, honestly, at this point in time. Entire force gathering up over here. Gonna see a few Stalkers blinking out the side, looking for an initial sentry. Disruptor shot fires through, grabs a couple of these Stalkers. Harry is still reducing this entire army of MaxPax back to the middle of the map. Resource loss would be interesting. 36k to 31k. Kind of expected, right? I don't think MaxPax could still stand in this if he hadn't traded at least a little bit better than herO. herO's had more bases throughout the game, of course, and in general has been able to do very well because of that. As you see, a couple of Stargates will end up depowered. I'm just going to see our interceptors flying straight through. Getting close to this, what I think is going to be final fight, guys. 20 army supply lead for MaxPax. I still feel like herO just hasn't traded out enough workers with the bank that he already had set up and everything. Well, just going to be seeing the mothership get shot down here, so there we go. We can spam some minus 400s or so. I'm sure you guys will have some fun with that. Have you seen the big commitment in? So in we go. And on forward. So yeah, interceptors flying through, just going to be continuing to fight. Battery being depowered a little bit, and just going to be seeing our carriers still trying to fight back over here. MaxPax has way too much, guys. herO, honestly, I feel like herO played this game very badly. And that's a very bold statement to say about someone like herO, as good as herO, but I really do not feel like he played this game in anywhere near the best way he could have done. There was just so many better opportunities. There were so many times to switch. There's been so many times he could have realistically, and I think very fairly, have just gotten into something that would have been so much better for him. And he just never went there. I don't know. I really feel like herO made this way more difficult for himself than he ever had to. He just tried to play more and more Phoenix against someone he could just go and kill. He gave MaxPax this chance, and, you know, even then it was maybe not bad. What was bad is that then he hasn't really planned at all for this phase of the game where MaxPax has literally no workers, and now he's got a bank, but he doesn't have time to spend the bank, so what does it matter? You know? so many issues in this series, quite frankly, and I don't know, just a rough game, a weirdly not great game from herO, and just because of the fact that he could have just made life so much easier for himself so much earlier on. Phoenix continuing to do what they can, but I just don't think there should realistically be a way here. That just shouldn't exist, right? This shouldn't be able to happen, so yes, it does seem that we are going to have ourselves a GG's very shortly, because MaxPax just has too much army. herO gonna end up in a rough place. GG's. And that will do it. I honestly, like, kind of cool, kind of crazy, but kind of just not the greatest of games from herO. It could have just been... That's why this game was cool, right? Because mistakes were made. I don't know. Feel like this was... If this was this game everyone was getting really hyped about, maybe this is a controversial take, but I didn't love it. This was just a messy game where someone had a clear advantage and just didn't do anything to take that lead with it, no? I think if you just build 2 zealots, that third base can't mine because there was no defense on it, and I'm sure like he's not really in a position to be building 2 zealots or whatever, right? Because like maybe he doesn't have warp gate, but he had so much time to do anything in terms of setting up, and I think that's the sad part, is that he had so much time to do literally whatever he wanted to, whatever he needed to, and he didn't do anything with that time. Like, he didn't have to immediately go into it, because I don't disagree, he probably does have to keep building Phoenix and bullying Phoenix, but the thing is Phoenix can just camp out his opponent's Stargates, and while you're camping out your opponent's Stargates, your opponent literally cannot build Phoenix themselves, and then you just, you know, you don't even really need to build that many more Phoenix, then you can just transition. I don't know, it was a wild game. But, yeah, just herO could have done anything at any point in time to make it so much different. And even when it became kind of the longer game as well, and it was like, okay, well, you know, we're kind of going along here, we're kind of doing things. Even then I was like, well, herO, like, if you build like 5 Archons initially and just fight, you can still go. He did nothing with the timing that he had then either, right? Because... don't get me wrong, once again, he, you know, definitely ended up in a position where he couldn't attack in. But there was a time where it was just like, there was a handful of stacked defense, and there was nothing to fight against like a clump of Archons. This is before MaxPax had any serious amount of carriers. Like, MaxPax was on a low carrier count for a while himself, right? I don't know, it just felt like every possible timing was missed in that game from herO. But anyways, that's the way it went. And here we are now, ready for game number 3. As we have Ancient System, pretty standard map, I believe. Definitely looks pretty standard on my side, being one of the ones that we talked about in the TLMC as being kind of a very good standard candidate, really expecting this one to do well, make it into the ladder, etc. And obviously it now will be making it onto the ladder as well, so pretty much just as expected in that regard. No surprises. Stargate coming up, Nexus coming through. Adept just popping out, gonna start making its way across as the Adept wants to try and grab itself a probe. Stalker and Warp Gate and everything all coming up as well. Let's just continue to bring this into play. Couple extra Stalks coming on either side. As we see ourselves a Nexus coming down from both. So here it just expands a little bit more slowly, and that's obviously always going to be the issue here. If you expand more slowly, then MaxPax can take pretty good control of the game, and that's oftentimes one of the big issues. So a little scary for sure. As our Stalkers setting up in the upper right side, just getting going over here. After SC Stalkers will poke from herO, I feel like MaxPax is well enough set up defensively that he's just going to come out in a lead on this. You can already see a 4-worker lead. And that's just, you know, faster expansion. And like I say, herO not really being in a position to do anything about it. So get rid of one probe over on the main base, but nothing too much. It's just a scout, so it was expected to die, of course. It's far from a truly exciting situation as Blink continues up, Gateway continues in. Attack here obviously is going to be faster from herO, so that's one advantage he still has. He might not have been able to make it back earlier in this game, but there's still a chance for him to potentially make the difference with a faster blink than his opponent. Something of a timing there that he can maybe do well with, so that's one thing I think we'll still be holding out hope for if you're cheering on herO in this game. And blink coming up on either side. I mean, herO's going to straight up be aggressive, obviously. He gets the gateway going. He really believes he's going to have something of a chance to get damage done with this. So he's down a bunch of workers. He's definitely the one that wants to make damage happen in this game. So in we go, looking for a chance to do something with Blink. Obviously gives him a lot of potential positions he can deal damage in as well, of course. Let's see what we can do as our Stalkers come forward. They're going to blink across. Needs to hit the Void Ray in this scenario, no? I was going to say we're going to let the Void Ray fire this time. Maybe a mistake. I mean, if you're going to go after Stalkers, then go after Stalkers, but to then go after the Void Ray after letting the Void Ray fight for a while is obviously just a bit of a shame. A little unnecessary as 5 dead probes over here. MaxPax has a sneaky little Oracle that's just showing up and is going to start making a name for itself. So that's really nice. herO even more committed than he was before, but he's doing such a great job on these Stalkers. Probes will pull. Probes do a great job attacking, and a lot of these Stalkers are low, being kept alive by a good Blink micro on the side of herO. So question will be, is it going to be enough overall? As our Stalkers obviously do just keep on coming in. Don't think the probe pull was going to ever truly save the day. We could believe a little bit. Yeah, these probes just keep on going down. These Stalkers keep on dropping. MaxPax is moments away from Blink. He got a good start. It didn't look like he'd been punished, but the speed of the Blink from herO is the real power in what he was doing. And that Blink has obviously absolutely shown itself right now in this game 3. 19 dead probes. 21. I mean, we're once again doing damage across the map. The Oracle really has been a bit of a savior for MaxPax. If there was a way for him to make this close again, to maybe make this happen, the Oracle would have been it. Doesn't happen in the end. herO takes a 2-1 lead and is up and on match point. Down a map in the bottom left-hand corner will be our Blue Pros player from Storm Gaming. This is MaxPax. In the top right-hand side is going to be herO. Map 4 of our series then. It's up and underway. It's another map with a ramp, so we will see an initial expansion here without too much concern or question mark. Kind of expected for the moment, I suppose. Also, you've got this nice little water effect in the middle of this map. I'm impressed they got water on the map and they got approved for bladder. Usually water maps struggle with FPS and just performance issues in general, so we don't usually get to see them too often. Probe, nibble and probe. Zealot coming up on either side, Cybercore coming in as we are just harassing around and trying to stop a third base or anything going up for the moment. Get that up and rolling. Single pylon over here, we see this sometimes just trying to be a little bit annoying, but I don't think it's got any real kind of intentions as herO. Down a few probes. He's got a Zealot showing up, but what's he really going to be able to do with any of this, right? Just a Zealot's going to walk in when you kill off a probe and try and see if there's any more damage, but I don't think there's really going to be much. Still a probe he's dropping for the moment, just going to see our Stalker coming in. Continue to chase that probe down, is going to be able to knock it off. Before just getting a big chrono boost. Just gonna get that out in the next few moments. Warp Gate is coming in. Our Nexus still coming into play. Just gonna be seeing our sentry popping up at the moment here as well. So getting that up and running. Couple of batteries still on the way out as well. This probe does pop up over here and is gonna be met by a group of Stalkers. Will go down. We're just gonna tick along. Well, Twilight Council is the choice here from MaxPax following this Stargate. We're going up against a herO who's just going into, well, a third gateway without any real tech just yet. So herO's in a bit of a weird place, trying to get a bit funky early, being a little bit more aggressive on the probe count, but MaxPax can have a faster Twilight, obviously later Nexus from MaxPax, but a faster Twilight to tech up with. He'll have an Oracle to harass, and he's already got these units that are doing decently as well, so that's got to be an added bonus as, you know, on top of everything else right now. Continues through, probe still taking some nibbles. Blink on the way up. It's going to be seeing if MaxPax can do anything with that blink play in the next little while. I'm just going to be seeing a couple extra gates still coming online as well. So all of this coming through here. I'm just going to be seeing the two Oracles coming by and just chasing after a few more of those probes. So coming through for all of that, just going to continue going after probe. 10 probes already being killed off here. Pretty reasonable job of things. Just going to be seeing the Oracles back over towards the natural. We'll go lasering down a probe or two as well. And to try and get a little bit more out of this all. Now, Stalkers trying to get a bit of a re-engage going, but not going to find too much just yet. Stalker coming in, just gonna see our Dark Shrine coming up on the side of MaxPax, wants to get aggressive with that. You see herO trying to get to third base. We'll see how well his defense will be setting up though against the against everything else here. Stalker's actually going to find Stalkers in the middle of the map, so herO's actually going to walk into a bad fight. MaxPax able to get a little bit of a pick going straight away. And just going to see those Stalkers being chased all the way out. Well, 5 probes going down, and herO is going to be hurting. He's down in workers. He's down a little bit on army. I mean, he's definitely down in position as well, as his third base is likely to get cancelled here. So then it's going to improve massively for MaxPax. It's going to be the next few moments of this as we get set up. To play we go as we just have our Void Ray still active. The Stalkers being shot down. Sentry getting picked off as well, and just going to be seeing these Stalkers do have to retreat away, but obviously a job well done for the moment as our blink still coming through. These oracles will go and pick their way through the rest of these probes, so GG's. MaxPax gonna find himself game number 4 of this best of 5. Are a little bit more bothered. Don't we think it's up to the tournament organizers to enforce the rules? Yes, but that's what I'm saying. There must be a that's exactly what you're not listening to me. There is a reason given to the tournament organizers that he doesn't have his camera on. But they don't make an announcement about it, and they seem to be okay with this reason. But the other players don't know what this reason is, and they don't know why. And there's nothing that's said publicly about it, which, again, maybe don't give the reason, but at least say he has given a legitimate reason why it can't happen. Because otherwise it just feels like they're being forced to put cameras on when others aren't, you know? So yeah, anyways, I've not actually casted this map yet, guys. This one was not in the TLMC. They actually dug this out. It wasn't in the TLMC finalists, at least. So yeah, this was dug out from the other TLMC entries. Couple of gates coming down. Just going to be seeing that gateway coming up on the side of MaxPax. It's going to be getting set up. Just going to be seeing our Cybercore coming through. Nexus on the way in. It's going to be so this map doesn't have a ramp, right? So this is just MaxPax being typical MaxPax by putting his expansion down early. As this probe comes in. Probe is going to go venturing around. How do I like the new map pool? Yeah, I like it. I do feel like the I agree with some of the criticism that all these maps are very high base counts, and that could be an issue. Because that generally does favor one of the races over some of the other races. And all of them, like, I don't think we've ever had a map pool where every map's had this amount of bases. You know, there's no kind of maps that have that. And I actually think that's an issue just for the health of the game, because I think it's good to have maps with low bases because it encourages different types of games and different ways of the game playing. So, a little bit, yeah. A little bit, I don't know. Interested to see how it turns out. It might be really good. I think that's almost the issue with taking away 7 maps all at once and then putting 7 new ones in. And I do like that. But obviously then you need to be very careful about every part of what you're putting in with the 7 maps. Because it's not just like, yeah, oh yeah, we're removing these 2 macro maps and this rush map and putting in 2 new macros in a rush. It's like, we're taking away 7 and we're introducing, kind of to me, what feels like 7 macro maps. And there's nothing more on the rush category or the short category and stuff like that, you know? Step comes up, probe takes a little bit of a shot, Stalker's still producing as our blink is on the way in. MaxPax here building up a Void Ray, Forge on the way as well as he gets ready to play defense with his fast expansion against this 4-gate blink all in of herO. He does like the cannon defense. He believes the cannons do an important part of, you know, helping him to defend against these sort of attacks. Stalker's going through. Okay, we're still coming up. Void's still hanging out. Just a little bit. It's going to be seeing our Stalkers waiting for their chance. This is going to be the opportunity number one, who's blink straight and goes straight for the Void Ray. No hesitation. Doesn't get it though. Super Battery saves it. It's obviously really bad. These Void Rays are going to get to clunk away at the Stalkers. Great hold from MaxPax here in the start of this. So the defense for the moment, as we just have our Cybercore. Still taking some shots here. Just going to be seeing the Cybercore will go down, so that makes it a bit more difficult for MaxPax to hold, but still has 3 Void Rays, 4th on the way. Feels like time's running out for herO to make a play. That's why the cannons are nice, because if you blink on those Void Rays, the cannons will help deal damage to reduce the Stalker count ASAP. I'm going to try and come in on the other side. This one probe is spotting for this move, so he'll have a little bit of a heads up about it. He can begin to reposition. I assume he's got some amount of defense in the main as well, aware of this possibility. There is at least one cannon here, as you can see. Stalkers need to be careful about this fight, though, as they're going to go for the... I feel like they're about to go for the Void Rays, because there wasn't a battery here, right? It's just the cannon. Stalkers coming around the side, hitting the assimilator. A few of the probes beginning to drop. 3 go down, the assimilator falls. The rest of these probes going down as well, as it's going to be seeing ourselves. MaxPax is still kind of alive, obviously up at base, so a few probes is okay to lose. Replaceable. Blinks in, 1 void, 2 voids. Already going down, cannon taking a couple of shots as well. Gets rid of the cannon, that's obviously really good here from herO. Goes in, we'll get another Void Ray here. Super Battery activates, that's not enough to save this from the 1 shots. Or the 2 shots, same effect, just twice as long to make happen. Looks as though herO is good on army supply, 32 to 12, looking real good in fact. I think herO, my friends, is going to walk home with this one, because MaxPax does not have a defense required to hold on and to take this away. Just looks like way too much. Our Stalkers continue through, poking around. Final one taking damage. herO takes the 3-2 victory and is going to advance to the finals to take on Bjorn.